Here's the special counsel. Does he want to interview the president?
Yeah, good luck. Good luck. After what they did to Flynn, and the way they trapped him into perjury, and no sentence for him, 14 days for Papadopoulos, I did better on traffic violations than they did with Papadopoulos.
So when you say good luck, you're saying no way, no interview.
They're a joke over my dead body.
Rudy Giuliani now had a lot to say over the weekend. What do we need to understand about this week? Alan Dershowitz wrote the book, The Case Against Impeaching Trump, and the professor's with me now. Sir, good to have you back. Good morning to you. Over my dead body. I think it was the quote of the weekend. Pretty much tells us it's not going to happen. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah. I think every reasonable defense attorney would give the same advice. We remember very carefully the Martha Stewart case, where they got her for talking to the FBI, and then Flynn. Look, the Flynn case is fascinating. I hope the judge understands when he has the case tomorrow that Flynn did not commit a crime by lying, because the lie has to be material to the investigation. And if the FBI already knew the answer to the question and only asked him the question, in order to give him an opportunity to lie, his answer, even if false, was not material to the investigation.
Which raises the question,
lying to the FBI is not a crime.
Why do you lie? I mean, why not just tell the truth, especially if everybody knew what was going on? Just quickly on Giuliani. You saw him on Fox with Chris Wallace. You saw him on ABC with Stephanopoulos. Did he show any cards in either of those interviews, do you think?
Well, I think he has made it very clear the president's finished cooperating. He understands this is an adversarial hearing, that Mueller will do anything to try to get people to sing or perhaps even to compose, and that cooperation is now off the table. It was on the table early on in the investigation, and then it became clear to the Trump defense team that cooperation was getting them nowhere, that they were determined to get Trump by squeezing all the people around him. So I think the cards that were shown yesterday were that this investigation, as far as Trump's concerned, is over unless they try to subpoena him. And then we have a constitutional conflict because Trump asserts Article 2 and other constitutional rights. We go to court, and we don't have a Mueller report for a long, long time. So I suspect we're on the way to a Mueller report, which will find no crimes, but will find political sins, which are not the proper function of a special counsel. The Inquisition found sins, but prosecutors are supposed to find only crimes.
Okay, now let's come back to Flynn. What do we need to understand about the sentencing tomorrow?
Well, two things. Number one, that I think the judge has the authority to throw out the plea if he believes that the plea was not to a crime. And I think he should find, as a matter of law, that when you tell an untruth to the FBI about a matter that they already know the truth about, they already know the answer, when the only purpose of the question is to get you to lie, that's not a crime, that's not a material misstatement. But if he doesn't find that, if he doesn't throw it out, and it would take a lot of courage to throw it out, I think we're seeing probably a probationary sentence. Whether we then see a pardon or a commutation afterward, that's a political issue. I'm not familiar with that.
Late on Friday, a lot of folks running around that afternoon, Mueller came out with a statement saying, with regard to these charges of entrapment, you know, a lot of pieces were written last week that Flynn was entrapped in this interview. And the special counsel came out and felt compelled to say, no, this was not entrapment. We were not there to set you up. But how did that strike you?
Well, I don't think that's right. I think a lot of people are misinterpreting the issue. The question, as Mueller put it, was, did he lie or was he treated unfairly? And the answer to that question is both are true. He did lie. He had the opportunity not to lie. Nobody could figure out why he would lie. He obviously knew there were transcripts. But the second question is, was he treated unfairly? The answer is absolutely yes. Told not to have a lawyer present, made to relax, made to feel that this was just an opportunity to kind of schmooze with some FBI buddies, and then they spring the trap on him. He fell for the trap, but they sprung the trap. They asked him a question to which they already knew the answer, not for purposes of learning the truth, they knew the truth, but for purposes of giving him an opportunity to lie. The question for the American public is, do we want the FBI to be springing morality tests on our citizens, criminal morality tests, giving them the opportunity to lie, giving them the opportunity to tell the truth? That's not a proper function of law enforcement, and I would hope the judge would see that and would say something about that.
Okay, last point on that. I think the question had to do whether or not he talked to the Russian ambassador, right? And within his role, he would have had authority to do that, correct? So had they asked the question,
no question that what he did was legal.
It was legal. So why not tell the truth about it?
You're absolutely right. He should have told the truth. You know, it leads to the possibility, it's just a possibility, that maybe he really was not lying. That's what the two FBI agents concluded. Maybe he just momentarily forgot. He didn't seem to be lying. He had no motive to lie. There was no reason to lie. He's an intelligent guy. Maybe he didn't lie. Maybe he told an untruth, which he believed was true at the time. I'm not saying that's the case, but certainly that's a possibility that should be considered as well.
I'm well out of time. Will we get that answer tomorrow when Flynn appears?
I think we'll get some of those answers tomorrow. We won't be able to probe into his mind tomorrow. We'll still never know why a man with his background in intelligence, who knew that the FBI had the information, why he would not just say, hey, yeah, I did it, I'm proud of it. It was within my authority. Next question.
Okay. Unless he speaks tomorrow, we wait on that. Thank you, sir. Great stuff. Alan Dershowitz in Florida today. Thank you for being back here with us today.